Welcome to Parenting Your Sensitive Child. Parenting a highly sensitive child can feel overwhelming, and all the parenting books in the world can only get you so far if your head and your heart are out of alignment with your child's. I'm your host, Julia McGarry. Let's create a new parenting paradigm. Hey y'all! We had quite a weekend of cookie booths and birthday parties, and I wanted to share a little bit about our experience in this episode and lead into the question in the episode title, and that's, what does a maxed out nervous system look like for your child? But first, my story. So we had a cookie booth on Saturday, and my daughter and her friend were scheduled to work the last 2 hours of our 4-hour block, while both of us moms were planning to be there the whole time. So the solution we came up with was the two girls would stay at home with my husband, and he was going to bring them over halfway through. It seemed like a good plan. They love hanging out together, and they jumped right into playing. When they got there, I noticed a few tells in how my daughter was acting that made me wonder what was going on behind the curtain, so to speak. First, she was very focused on her friend and trying to get her friend to play with her. And she was able to refocus when there were customers there, which was good. But when there weren't, she was in whirlwind mode. And we rolled with it. We found ways for them to all play together while it was slow. But it was enough of a deviation from the norm for my daughter that my detective mind was activated. And really, that's what I want to encourage you to develop, is this ability to kind of be a detective when it comes to your child's behavior. And, in the moment, she wasn't able to tell me much about what was going on. It just seemed to me like she really didn't want to be there, that she just wanted to be playing and to kind of get away from the cookie booth. After the fact, we were able to talk about it a bit more. And this was important, I was able to talk to my husband and get some insight. And it turns out that she had been really angry with him while I was out at the booth. And that, combined with some sense of having wasted her time with her friend being angry, was bleeding into her experience once she got to the cookie booth. Essentially, there was a reason why she was doing what she was doing. But in the moment, my mind was spinning a little. I definitely found myself wondering if there was something bigger going on, if I have been missing something all this time, if I wasn't recognizing what was right in front of me, right? And the truth is, there was something bigger going on for her. It wasn't something bigger in the terms of like a diagnosable thing necessarily, but what she was feeling was really big, and it was driving her actions. Even though she wasn't having a meltdown, she had not processed the emotions that had been building up over the course of the day, and they were affecting how she was interacting with the world. I was lacking the full picture, and I had no idea just how maxed out her nervous system was. Now, to be clear, I'm not writing off the possibility that there's something going on that's diagnosable for her. I'm always just on the lookout and considering all the possibilities, right? I wonder particularly about inattentive type ADHD. But at this time, there isn't anything consistent enough to support a conclusion beyond her being a bright kid who sometimes experiences situational anxiety. All right, with that said, I want to pose the question to you. What are your child's telltale signs? How do you know if they are feeling something big under the surface? How do you know if their nervous system is maxed out? I found it to be so helpful to know what it looks like from the outside when she's experiencing turmoil on the inside, and I'm always adding to my mental catalog. I'm always reminding myself that when I see these things, there's something else I'm not seeing. So, what does a maxed out nervous system look like for your child? Some examples include being, quote, willfully defiant when they're fairly reasonable most of the time. I put that in quotes because even when it seems like there's no reason, we know there is a reason. Kids aren't just defiant. If it seems like you tell them something and they immediately do the opposite, there's something else going on, and it's your job to figure it out. Or maybe they seem overly excited and can't stay out of their friend's personal space when they usually have good personal boundaries and self-control. There's something else going on, and it's your job to figure it out. Or maybe their motor turns on, or it seems like their volume is ratcheted up a few degrees. This is definitely one that raises questions when I see it, since one of the markers for ADHD is that they seem like they're driven by a motor. It can also be a sign that they're experiencing something internally that they don't quite know how to deal with. It's your job to help them figure it out. Or maybe they withdraw or refuse to engage in activities that you know that they'd like if they gave it a chance. There's something else going on. Going from 0 to 60, suddenly losing their impulse control, hitting out of the blue, all of these are clues. You get to be the detective. And remember, I'm not telling you this to give you an excuse or a reason to avoid an evaluation. Evaluations are important, and if you think you should have an evaluation done, you should have an evaluation done. And you can still be a detective. You can still learn to understand what happens when your child is experiencing something that's hard for them. It's relevant and important whether your child has a diagnosis or not. Okay? I hope this is helpful. I hope that you all have a great week, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Do you feel like you're parenting 24/7 and you're still not sure your child is getting what they need? Are you ready to stop parenting reactively and start living in partnership with your sensitive child? Are you ready to reclaim time for yourself and time for your dreams? Then you're going to want to explore coaching with me. I help my clients tune out all the noise, better understand their kids, build a parenting strategy that meets their family's specific needs, and do the mindset work necessary to implement that strategy consistently without sacrificing themselves in the process. To get started, just head over to partnerpath.com, click on coaching, and get your free consultation set up. Let's get to know each other.